Jai Shri Ram Krishna, 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 Jai Shri Ram Jai Shri Ram Jai Shri Ram
Breaker of this world's chain, we adore thee, whom all men love. Spotless, taking man's form, O purifier, thou art above the gunas three, knowledge divine, not flesh. Thou whom the cosmos wears, a diamond at its heart. Let us look deep in thine eyes. They are bright with the wisdom of God, that can wake us from Maya's spell. Let us hold fast to thy feet, treading the ways of the world to safety. O drunk with love, God drunken lover, in thee all paths of all yogas meet. Lord of the worlds, thou art ours, who wert born a child of our time, easy of access to us. O merciful, if we take any hold upon God in our prayer, it is by thy grace alone, since all thine austerities were practiced for our sake. How great was thy sacrifice, freely choosing thy birth in this prison, our iron age, to unchain us and set us free. Perfect, whom lust could not taint, nor passion nor gold draw near. O Master of all who renounce, fill our hearts full of love for thee. Thou hast finished with fear and with doubt, standing firm in the vision of God, refuge to all who have cast fame, fortune, and friends away. Without question thou shelterest us, and the world's great sea in its wrath seems shrunk to the puddle that fills the hoofprint in the clay. Speech cannot hold thee, nor mind, yet without thee we think not, nor speak. Love, Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Today we're celebrating the auspicious occasion of Swami Advaitanandaji Maharaj's birthday, according to the Indian calendar. Swami Vivekananda used to say, suffering is the great eye-opener. And in the case of Swami Advaitanandaji, it was certainly suffering that opened his eyes to spiritual life. At an advanced age, at the age of 55, his wife passed away. And he was completely devastated. This is a common experience. I'm sure all of you know people who have gone through this, or you yourself might have gone through this. Completely devastated. His whole life was kind of in a shambles after that. He was an emotional wreck. And he visited his friend, Dr. Mohendra Pal, for solace. And this Dr. Pal said, hey, do one thing. Go visit this saint named Sri Ramakrishna in Dakshineshwar. And so he took him there to see him. Sri Ramakrishna didn't give him much attention. Gopal also wasn't all that impressed. Gopal was the pre-monastic name of Advaitanandaji Maharaj, Gopal Chandra Ghosh. And so it was a mutual, well, no, I don't want to say that. Gopal came away feeling, take it or leave it, I'm not that impressed. And age-wise, he was born in 1828. 8 years, that means he was 8 years older than Sri Ramakrishna. Keep that in mind, he's quite elderly. But he came again. Second time, he was far more impressed. And the spell, Sri Ramakrishna's spell started working on him. On the third visit is when the cobra finally bit him. And he said, describing his third visit to Sri Ramakrishna, "The master possessed me. I would think of him day and night. The pang of separation from the master gave me chest pain. No matter how hard I tried, I could not forget his face." So after that third visit, of course, he couldn't resist visiting Sri Ramakrishna on a regular basis. And he started serving Sri Ramakrishna. He was extraordinarily meticulous in every work, every duty that was assigned to him. That was one of his special qualities. He treated every work as a kind of holy act and as a spiritual practice in its own right. So Sri Ramakrishna entrusted him with this extremely important task of running errands for Holy Mother Sri Sharada Devi. She needed groceries. She would tell Gopal, Elder Gopal, please get X, Y, and Z. He would go to the grocery store, buy the vegetables. She would prepare meals also, and he would take the meals to Sri Ramakrishna. And usually she would keep her face veiled out of modesty when a man would come to visit her. But in the case of the Elder Gopal, she kept her face unveiled, which shows his level of purity and her trust in him. Of course, we all know that Swami Vivekananda was a great singer. And when songs were being sung, Swami Advaitananda Gopal would often accompany the music by playing tabla. So he could play the tabla and he would play it when music was played. So I wanted to mention also a touching incident that was witnessed by Gopal regarding Sri Ramakrishna. He was with Sri Ramakrishna and they see a woman carrying a giant tub of poop, excrement, on her head. That was her job. That was her duty. Sri Ramakrishna saw this and just stretched out flat in front of her, bowing down to her, saying, "Mother, who can do this work except you?" So showing this profound respect and reverence for all women, regardless of their station in life, by seeing Divine Mother in everyone. Diksha. Many of you may have received initiation from revered Sarvadevanji or someone else. Gopal, one day in 1885, he's itching to get initiated. So he finally, one day, musters the courage to approach Sri Ramakrishna about it, gets down on his knees, grabs onto the feet of the master of Sri Ramakrishna, weeping and begging for initiation. Sri Ramakrishna lifts him up from the ground, holding his arms, and he's still weeping. He can't control his tears. And Sri Ramakrishna said something to him, but Gopal, Latu Maharaj is the one describing the incident. Latu Maharaj said, "I couldn't hear what Sri Ramakrishna said to him." But then Latu Maharaj says, "Since that time, I have noticed Gopal Da chanting God's name every evening in front of the Krishna temple." So Sri Ramakrishna would initiate his disciples in many different ways, sometimes by writing a mantra on the tongue, sometimes by giving a mantra, sometimes by a touch. So in this case, there was some kind of mystical communication there that led Gopal to repeat God's name continuously. Sri Ramakrishna, of course, toward the end of his life, had throat cancer. And Gopal was entrusted with his care and his treatment. And specifically, he had the job of treating his throat, Sri Ramakrishna's cancerous throat, with a special kind of solution made of margosa leaves. And when he's doing that, Sri Ramakrishna cried out in pain. And of course, Gopal is terrified. And so he says, no, sir, what can I do? If I wash, you will get pain. So let me not do it. So I won't do it. Sri Ramakrishna says, no, you go on washing. Look, I have no more pain. And Sri Ramakrishna simply lifted his consciousness away from the body. And Gopal was then able to wash the area very carefully, and Sri Ramakrishna was completely impervious to the pain. One day, Gopal was expected to do certain duties for Sri Ramakrishna, continuing to serve him in this state of illness. But for whatever reason that day, he decided instead of doing his duty, that he would go off and meditate. And maybe he was thinking that Sri Ramakrishna would be happy. What's higher than thinking of God? Girish Ghosh, he noticed this and he said, the one upon whom Gopal is meditating with closed eyes is suffering on a sickbed. And fancy, he is meditating upon him. I think he tells this to Sri Ramakrishna. Then Gopal is called by Sri Ramakrishna himself. Sri Ramakrishna tells him, do you think I'm asking you to stroke my legs because they are aching? Oh no. In your previous births, you did many virtuous acts. Therefore, I'm accepting your service. Another important role that Swami Advaitanandaji played in our tradition, in our order, in the formation of our order, is that he wanted to purchase, or he did purchase, 12 ochre cloths and 12 rosary beads to distribute to monks who are going to visit on Makar Sankranti Day. There's a kind of annual pilgrimage of monks, and he was planning on gifting these ochre cloths to the monks that were on pilgrimage. He tells Sri Ramakrishna that. Sri Ramakrishna tells him, you will attain 1,000 times more virtue if you present those ochre cloths and rosaries to my children, rather than giving them to the monks of Jagannath Ghat. Where else will you find such all-renouncing monks? Each of them is equal to 1,000 monks. Sri Ramakrishna's own words. So on Tuesday, 12th January 1886, that was the day of Makar Sankranti, Gopal gave these 12 ochre cloths and the 12 rosaries to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna himself handed all these items over to certain of his disciples. Who were they? Narendra, Rakhal, Niranjan, Baburam, Shoshi, Sharat, Kali, Jogin, Latu, Tarok, and Gopal. That's 11 if you're counting. Where did the 12 go? Sri Ramakrishna instructed Gopal to give them to Girish Ghosh. Of course, we know it didn't turn out to be a sannyasi. But later, Girish touched the ochre cloth to his head and felt blessed by Sri Ramakrishna. On 6th May 1886, now Sri Ramakrishna is in Kashipur, just a few months before he leaves his body. Gopal is meditating with Narendra, Swami Vivekananda, in a room. Suddenly, Swamiji goes into the highest state of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and he starts panicking, and he just keeps asking over and over again, where is my body? Where is my body? Shouting. Gopal, touching him. He gets worried, obviously. He's touching him. It's here, Naren. Can't you feel it? But Narendra keeps shouting, where's my body? Where's my body? Gopal is terrified. He's freaked out. So he runs to Sri Ramakrishna, tells him everything. Sri Ramakrishna only smiles and says, let him stay like that for a while. He's been bothering me long enough to put him into that state. After Sri Ramakrishna left his body in 1886, of course, the monks assembled in Boranagar monastery. Sometimes other brother monks, partly because of his age, he's the eldest, like we tease some of the elder members of our community here. They would play some practical jokes on Advaitanandaji. And so one day, Akhandanandaji, he replaced Advaitanandaji's pillow for his bed with a brick, obviously without telling him. And when Advaitanandaji noticed, he smiled and he said to Akhandanandaji, Ganga, That's Akhandanandi's name. I know you have done this mischief. Brother, I shall use your precious gift tonight as my pillow. Which had a very interesting effect. Akhandananji felt guilty, actually. And he was so touched, he said, brother, you are a real monk, free from anger and ego. And he himself immediately went and brought the pillow and replaced it. Advaitanandaji had an itch to go on pilgrimage, so he traveled to a few places, starting in 1887, Varanasi, Kedarnath, Badrinath, Vrindavan, Gaya, and he would meet in some places some of the brother disciples, sometimes he would meet Holy Mother. Finally, he ended up in Varanasi again. He loved Varanasi. And so he decided to spend his final years, the final years of his life, in Varanasi. Many people do in India. It's considered to be so holy that if you leave your body in Varanasi, you'll attain liberation. But Swamiji in 1897 comes back from the West and is now about to start a new monastic organization. And he's purchased this plot in Belur Math. So he calls his brother disciples back to Belur Math. Many of them were on pilgrimage, including Advaitanandaji. Advaitanandaji immediately heeded his brother's call, his brother monk's call. He comes to Belur Math. And because he's so meticulous and so responsible in all of his duties, Swamiji entrusted him with a very important duty. The land, the plot, was very uneven. So he had the task of making the land, the plot, flat so that they can construct the main temple and other buildings on that plot. So he was entrusted with that duty. And he was very strict, and he would sometimes scold the workers that were involved. And Swamiji didn't help the situation because he would approach some of these workers that are helping to even out the plot of land and ask them questions just out of compassion about their plight, about the difficulties they face on a daily basis. And the leader of this group of workers said, "Oh dear Swami," talking to Swami Vivekananda, "Oh dear Swami, don't come to us when we work. Our work stops when we talk to you." Later, the old father scolds us. Old father means Gopal, right? Advaitanandaji now. Swamiji was so touched by these words. And he said, no, he will not say anything. Tell me something about your part of the country. Advaitanandaji was also responsible for a lot of the food in Belur Math. At that time, there was very little money. Monks didn't have much to eat. He started a vegetable garden. He started a dairy farm and looked after both of these things. And Adbhutanandaji, Latu Maharaj, he said later, without Gopalda, the monks of Belur Math would not have had vegetables along with their rice. He worked so hard to produce various kinds of vegetables in the monastery garden. Another thing is he had this special bond with Holy Mother, I think partly because of his age. He could also sympathize with some of her ailments. She suffered from rheumatism. When she told that to him, he said, "Yeah, I also suffer from rheumatism." So there's a special bond. And he tells her, after Holy Mother asks how he is, he says, "I work hard. I don't get much help from the boys, the younger monks. I'm growing various kinds of vegetables, okra, eggplant, plantain, and so on, in the monastery garden. As a result, nowadays we seldom buy vegetables. Sometimes I send some vegetables to you." Holy Mother says in reply, she says, "My son, you are an old-timer. Your life is different from the modern boys who generally don't care for household matters. The monastery is like a family home where you need food, clothing, and other necessities. Without these things, how can you live there? So it is your duty to take care of the master's children." And he took that duty very, very seriously and reverentially. And of course, some of the young joining brahmacharis who came to Belur Math were scolded, reprimanded pretty severely by Advaitanandaji if they were a little off in their duties, if they were late to wake up, if they didn't do their tasks properly. And most of them took it in a good spirit because there was no malice or bitterness behind it. Nonetheless, one day, Advaitanandaji had a kind of vision, a mystical revelation, which he explained later. He said, "The Master has shown me that it is he who is manifested through all. then who is there to blame or whom to criticize? After he had this mystical vision, Advaitanandaji stopped finding fault in others and scolding people. No matter how many mistakes or how badly other people failed to do their duty. Turiyanandaji said later about Gopalda, he said, "We are much indebted to Gopalda because we learned the secret of work from him. He was organized and concentrated in everything he did, and he was very methodical in his habits. Until his last day, he regularly practiced meditation." 1909, he's very ill, and he's in tremendous pain. So when he feels he's had enough of this life, he goes to a picture of Sri Ramakrishna, prays to him very earnestly, and says, "Master, please release me from this pain." And Sri Ramakrishna, of course, soon answered his prayer. Swami Premanandaji later said, before Gopal's death, he saw the master carrying a mace on his shoulder. He then asked, "Master," Gopal is asking Sri Ramakrishna, whom he's seeing in this vision. He asks him, "Master, why are you carrying the mace on your shoulder?" The master replied, "I am Gadadhar," which literally means upholder of the mace. We know that was Sri Ramakrishna's pre-monastic name. Gadadhar. I am Gadadhar, upholder of the mace, an epithet of Lord Vishnu. Gadadhar was also Sri Ramakrishna's childhood name. Okay, that's just explained here. In this age, Sri Ramakrishna says, this is a sentence which I think requires quite a bit of reflection. In this age, I shall rebuild after destroying everything. So the mace as a kind of metaphor. This is very interesting. I just want to mention, Chaitanandaji offers this interpretation of this last, I think, fairly cryptic sentence. Chaitanandaji writes, "Truly, Sri Ramakrishna was born in this modern time to destroy doubt and delusion from the minds of the people." So Chaitanandaji here is saying, yes, he's come to destroy in order to rebuild, but destroy what? Ignorance, doubt, delusion. That's one interpretation. I still feel a little bit unsatisfied with it and think that there's something deeper there going on. What does he mean? And so I want to leave it up to you guys. What does Sri Ramakrishna mean when he says, "In this age, I shall rebuild after destroying everything"? On his last day, Tuesday, 28th December, 1909, he's in a blissful mood, actually, with a beautiful smile on his face. And Premanandaji wrote a description of his last moments. He says, "Gopalda has gone to the abode of the master. He had a little fever, and nobody realized that he would leave the body so soon. During his last moments, his face looked so beautiful. It is a wonderful play of the master's devotee. At that time, Dr. Motilal Mukhopadhyay was present. Gopalda drank a little lemon juice and milk. He greeted Moti Babu, meaning Dr. Mukhopadhyay. Smiling, he left the body. He left the body at the age of 81 after leading an exemplary life. In spite of the fact that he came to spiritual life at a very advanced age, he impressed everyone, his brother disciples, devotees, with his sincerity, his perseverance, his routine. He was very strict about maintaining a routine and meditating and engaging in tremendous austerities as well. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.